artists. So today I'm going to be showing you a little bit about markers and how to use them in an artistic way, really focusing on what direction we're using them and how we're using the colors so that you can create your best work with markers. Alright, so here's what I've kind of got started here. I'm starting here on my cartoon character, my cartoon creature, if you will. And if you notice here, I've started outlining some of the nose here and the eyes, and I would go ahead and I would outline this other eye, and I've started adding in some marker details here for the main part of his body. So one thing I want to show you is I do want to show you how to do the nose here. The nose, this shiny spot, I want to make sure that I'm leaving space for that. So something I've done first is I've gone ahead and I've drawn my nose here, and I'm going to go ahead and add in the outline of where I'd like that shiny spot. This kind of tells me as a viewer that his nose is shiny, it's smooth, maybe a little wet. I'm thinking maybe like a puppy dog. And then I can use a Sharpie if I want for this. I could use a black marker for this. I could also use another medium if I wanted to, maybe a pen or a colored pencil if I didn't have markers. I'm going to be using a Sharpie here. So what I want to do with my Sharpie is I want to make sure that I'm outlining all the spots. Now I'm using a thick medium Sharpie here. And I want to make sure that I'm staying kind of outside of the pencil lines. So if you can kind of see here, you might be able to see it, the pencil line right on the inside there. And then I would go ahead and outline where I was coloring in. With markers, because they're so thick most of the time, I want to make sure I'm outlining things, then coloring it in. I also want to be aware of the direction. So I want to follow my pencil lines. So my pencil lines here are kind of curved, right, with the oval. So I'm making sure that I am curving my coloring inside so that I have really nice, clean lines. I'm not just scribbling back and forth, taking my time. All right. So that's how I did the nose here. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you the eye. So on this eye here, I have a little shiny spot on the inside, and I'll go ahead and show you that with the other eye. So what I have here is I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to outline my pencil lines here real fast, just like this. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the top and thicken this part up just a little bit, and then I'm going to work creating little circles in. His shiny part of his eye is on this side towards the top, so I need to make sure it matches on the other side. And it's going to be, and I'm just going to keep doing little circles till I get kind of what I want here. I'm kind of taking my time here so I don't go too far in. If you think marking it out in pencil first would help you, then you can do that. But this is a way to do it, right? This is on this side over here, and this is also on this side going this way, like the light is hitting him from this angle. All right. Now I'm going to show you a little bit with just plain Crayola markers, any kind of marker, washable marker. So the main thing, what I'm doing when I work with my Crayola markers is I want to work from light to dark marker. So here my monster is going to be more of an orange and red. He's going to have some red hair on the top here. You can kind of see that just a little bit. Here, we'll bring it a little closer. And I want to work with my light colors first, then my dark colors. So if I were doing like a blue and a green, I would work with my green first and then my blue. If I were working with blue and purple, I would work with blue first and then a green. If I'm putting them right on top of each other, I want to make sure that I'm using colors that blend well together. So I know orange and red blend really well together. They make a nice color. When I'm working with markers, a lot of times what I want to do is I want to put the marker upright, and then I want to go really fast back and forth, and I want to start wherever I want. But what I want to do here is I actually want to start the opposite side of my hand. So if I'm left-handed here, so you notice I've started more on the right side. If you're right-handed, then you would start on the left side, work your way over. That way you don't get marker. When you get the marker on the side of your hand, it doesn't smear. The other thing I want to do is I actually want to put the marker on its side. And I want to make sure that I'm going back and forth in a direction that makes sense. So my monster here is going to be pretty hairy and fuzzy. You can't see it as well with the orange, but you can see it with this darker green one I did. He's pretty fuzzy, so all of my marker lines are going up and down rather than going every which way. So I want to make sure I'm going one type of direction. Now I can still outline things, so I make sure I don't go outside of the lines, but I want to make sure that I'm going up, down, if his fur is going this way. If you have a different texture, then maybe you do a different direction. I'm going to outline this area up here a little bit, and make sure I go up and down, kind of fill it in. And notice I'm going off to the side here. I'm using the side of my marker to get nice wide areas. Alright, do a little bit up here with my hair, and then I'll show you a darker color since the tips of his hair are going to be red. Trying to stay in my lines, going up and down, working from the opposite side of my hand. And I'm going to get all the way up here. He's just going to have a little bit of red on his hair. When I'm doing finer details or tracing, that's when I can put the marker up. And when I'm just coloring in stuff, I'm making sure I'm doing it on the side. Alright, now I have my red here. I want to, since red's a little darker than orange, I'm going to add it in. It's a fine detail, so I'm going to use more of the point of my marker. And I can, because these colors mix really well together, I can even do it right on top of the orange to make a new color if I wanted. Just like that. The orange and the red really blends really well together. Happy creating!